in solutions. But what we are saying now is that time and again, there is an aspect of giving an identity to the international community. Because I will tell you that there were at times when we kill, when those who kill, they have information to communicate or pass a message to the world. If you look at how the Kumba killing was mediatized, the way in which they presented the facts in Kumba, it's like it is the lone killing that took place during this 4 years period. If you go to what happened in Menka, Menka somewhere around Santa, there was equally an event. What happened in Batibo, there was equally the killing of Muyuka. There is an aspect which is even several times manifested by the various actors that are involved in the struggle to give the world an image that something is going on. But we have said, and I will keep on insisting, that it is written in the preamble of the Cameroon Constitution that justice shall be rendered in the name of the people of Cameroon. They did not mention an individual's name, which means that Cameroonians, where they are aware of what they are supposed to do, and they are equally knowing, like when you say it, that what is killing us is that we know the solution to the problem, but people are failing to take the solution because maybe such solutions are coming from the camp they don't support. And even when it is coming from those who support them, they try to decorate it. And so I'm telling you that there is even no problem. How do you solve a problem which you have refused that the problem does not exist? In fact, if there is a mathematical problem, the student must understand, first of all, that in mathematics, there was a problem before providing the solution to that particular problem. But if you refuse it at the beginning, that it doesn't exist, and now you're looking for solutions, what solutions are you looking for? The government has equally been telling us that they have surely exhausted their limit. That is why members of the consortium were arrested, that they were looking for something out of what they could not offer. And what the government thought of offering later was to arrest these people, lock them up, then put arms throughout southern Cameroon. I will equally tell you that to increase that, we are just told that a lot of military presence, this particular yesterday and today, in the FACO division, owing that the African Youth Championship, championship, is going to start in some few days ahead. We can imagine who bears the burden of this particular financial burden, which is going to entangled with military being out on the streets for these days within this same region. This is not the Cameroon that we admire, that when football, which most often the head of state use it as a factor of unity, instead acts as an instrument of division, then the country is really getting down its ruins. And there is a need instead for us to rethink what solution to offer to it within this particular period for us to have peace. At the same time, I'm saying a week before the event, about 17 kilometers from where some of the matches will be taking place, civilians were killed. Is that the solution? Military presence? Are there no military in the southwest region? Is there no military base in Moyuka? Is there no military base somewhere closer to the area where these particular civilians were killed? Is that the solution to the problem? And I would say that the FARC rebel crisis in Colombia took 50 years, but the government ended up negotiating with the rebels. And today we are not talking about Colombia again. There is no TV program that is tilted towards Colombia. And so we are talking Cameroon. Yes, we'd like to come back towards the solutions Sebako gave, that we don't need an international organization to solve a Cameroonian problem. I will equally accept that Dr. Nick talked of despots, and we mean leaders who know what the nation wants and what they can do for the nation. This is what is lacking in Cameroon. Yes, we sing a lot. That is what happens with the CBN. We came out from greater achievement to great ambitions. Today, I don't know whether it's greater realization. And in all, we have Horizon de Transcend. When a country is about to emerge, what has been the plans? Has electricity been stable? Do we have good drinking water? I mean, just these two basic commodities, which in other nations is considered to be free. One of the problems which Cameroonians are having, let me come to it, is that a lot of basic issues which are supposed to come to Cameroonians end up within the bigger boys. I mean, those who control the government for 60 years. Some people have been in government. Retirement is not part of them. But at the same time, we see the same government signing retirement letters to others, and those who are even older than the one going on retirement. It is again very funny. This is not the type of nation we wish to have.
Okay.
If you need to resolve Southern Cameroonian problem, we have said, and many people are saying it, where is the fear going back to 1961? Bring out the 1961 constitution as was written and telling us that we start from here. If there will be a problem, then Cameroonians will agree that it was just above the 1961 constitution, not any other issue.
Hello, Mr. Liu and Leonard panelists. I'm quite in my quiet moment, I ponder on the fate of Cameroon. Seemingly, the current political class has no plan for the nation. The technocrats of this nation have been just compromised by fear and dishonesty. The killings will get worse as bad leadership continues. So much hate and distrust are Collins. Writing from Kupe Mwanenguba. Good evening to you, Collins. Good evening, Mr. Liu and co. Just to clarify, Mr. Paddy, that the Amber Boys are targeting the Mbororo people and killing them for no reason. They said Fulani people have nothing to beg from them, therefore marginalization is not the right word for it, but genocide. But the fact federation being the best solution to this crisis, I am with him. Okay, Mohamadu is writing from Yaoundé. Good evening to you, my friend. Mohamadu from Yaoundé. Good evening to you, sirs. I'm real boy from Douala. We Africans, we need unity. That's why I thought wise to bring up a song titled United Africa. If we are united, no country will exploit us, no control us. We have a long way to go, which is our way to unity. So let's all Africans stand for unity and end the Anglophone crisis. Thank you. Hi, it's Achuo Doris from Loom. I wish to say we need to be more prayerful, for only God can help us. Achuo, good evening to you. My sister, I'm Kizito from Boya. Cameroon will not be destroyed by those doing evil, but by those who support the said evil and do nothing. Okay, thank you. Stop calling, please. When you call, it disrupts. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Love your outfits today, but the network won't allow me enjoy the program. Sorry. Network is actually disturbing. Greetings, I'm Luis from Yaoundé. Foreign bodies can't solve this problem. The untouchable needs to be touched for this problem to get finished. Politicians are feeding their stomach, not handling the issue at hand. Good evening to you, Luis, writing from Yaoundé. Dr. Nick Ngwanyam, African leaders themselves, we've not heard them talk about this. We saw African leaders comment when the George Floyd incident happened in the United States. No, just one person was concerned. We saw African leaders actually come out to condemn it, but people are dying in Momo Division, not one, not two, not three. People have died in Matazem, not one, not two. People have died in Mautu. Yesterday, almost 10 of them. The fingers of persons have been chopped off in Indian Division. An estate manager was killed in Indian Division. No African leader seems to be conscious of the fact that killings are happening in Cameroon.
Well, if you look at the current killings going on in Cameroon, they happen in almost all African countries.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
They are also concerned.
Yeah, so the African countries are just as dirty. Then they have their own dirt. But the thing is, you know, because America gives the lessons. America is the teacher. Mm-hmm. America gives the lessons. So when America does the same thing that Africa does, then we now wake up and say, hey, you told us the other day this was wrong. How comes you're doing this? I mean, you understand. It was not, I think the outrage was not really about Floyd. They were only pointing the American government, President Donald Trump, you know, the one who called them shithole countries. I don't know whether he ever used that word, but the one who looks down on everybody. It's like, hey, you seem to know what to do, but see what's happening in your backyard. And even with that, you don't seem to be concerned, because of course you have to remember that the way President Donald Trump reacted to that incident, you know, it kept me a little bit worried too, because, you know, I had always thought that he was God-fearing and he was a Christian, and then he was pro-life. But you cannot be so Christian about abortions And so you're vocal about abortions. They are not good. Fine, that's great. You support the churches. Okay, that's great. And you cannot be pro-life when it concerns babies, and when it comes to blacks being killed, you don't know about pro-life. So that's somebody who is divided, and someone who has a divided mind saying the same thing with a split mind, you are a liar. So it's and then it's the bubble has just blown in his face now, because you're not consistent. You that is what the Africans were going for, to say, look, you seem to be giving us lessons, but there's something about you that we are not so sure about. And with these elections that have come out, I'm sure we're going to see worse things happening in Africa, because every African president will be stealing elections and doing whatever they wish to do, knowing that there's no one to talk back to them.
Padi Asanga, we are running out of time, but I want to find out from you that are we also not able to sort out what is happening in Cameroon, especially with respects to the ongoing crisis in the southwest and northwest regions, because core conflicts resolution experts have not been given the opportunity to engage in finding lasting solutions to this?
I think that is the greatest question of the day, and I'm very happy that you sample your panelists and you know their angle of reflection, and I will say this, and I will say it very, very unequivocally. They said the unity of, somebody just said on your panel, and I was reading through the comments, somebody just said on your panel that the unity of the Anglophones would bring about the solution of the Anglophone problems. So, and you want to understand where we are coming from and where we are today, because we had Justice Ayapol, with whom I don't agree with his changing positions. You had the Cardinal Tumi, and you had people like John Fundi, Kawala, and all those Anglophone voices who thought that Anglophones should sit together to come out with a legitimate leadership. Some people who have weight, who have that local standing to carry along the Anglophone problem. And I don't think that where we are today, we are getting to that position, because people like myself who are not very concerned, I'm sitting here in Hamburg. I cannot tell you exactly the problem that somebody has in Gokutunja, but I want to give injunctions to the people in Gokutunja. And I think that we are in this fix because people refuse the intra-Anglophone dialogue. I think many of your panelists have said it, that people who refuse the intra-Anglophone dialogue, they were not only members of the CPDM or Southwest region, as my brother Ebako is saying. It is people like Ekema Patrick of, may his soul rest in peace, and Atangan Jipol. I have that inside knowledge because I'm privy to certain information. So where we stand today, there is no way we should be taking injunctions from white boys. Look at what happened to Trump administration. Just imagine when Cardinal Tumi, John Fundi, and those other people were saying that, no, we should sit amongst us ourselves, Cameroonians, to resolve the problem. So what are the examples that we are getting from the white boys? What are the examples that we are getting from Trump protesters? I'm not a partisan of the fact that we should be having people in the dungeons of Nkondengi and Fu, Boya prison, Bamenda Central Prison, because those are no places for any human being. But I am one of those people who think that all shades of opinion, without castigating, without calling names, without calling somebody black legs, red legs, green legs. You have Justice Ayapol on the other hand. You have Agobala on the other hand. You have our brilliant Dr. Ngwanyam sitting here talking of something else, but aligning to the CPDM. You have Ebako, and then you have radicals like myself and John Ako, who think that we have to go back and revisit the Constitution of 1961. So all these shades of opinions have to be there, but it has to be in honesty, because the honest historical fact is that there was West Cameroon, Southern Cameroon, which joined La République du Cameroon, and we become the United Republic of Cameroon or the Federal Republic of Cameroon. So that intra-Anglophone dialogue should be, because Ambazonia is not gazetted and nobody mandated somebody to sit in the diaspora, send people to come and behead you, Leo, behead Ako, behead Ngwanyam, or behead Ebako, to say that if you don't support me, your name is death. It doesn't work like that. And I maintain that position as one of those principal actors who have been here in the diaspora. I stand with everybody who still thinks that Anglophones should sit together and come out with legitimate leadership, not with people like myself with dubious credentials, dubious background, fake pastors, ordained by nobody, and talking about Odeshi and then talking about the white boys' religion, which is Jesus. You want to understand why I'm using those words? Because I'm not a Christian. So, Leo, you people should take what we are saying here in the diaspora, because there is always a lone voice in the forest which is crying loud and telling the truth, and only the truth shall set us free. Thank you.
Very much, Paddy Asanga. Seemingly what he's saying has received the blessings of almost everybody here in the studio. Yes, you have just 1 minute because we're out of time.
Okay, Mr. Leo, I just want to add to what Paddy Asanga was saying. You see, we cannot want to resolve an Anglophone problem or a problem which concerns the people of Cameroon, and we are applying a Western system. You see, democracy has always been that the majority seem to have the say, but you come to realize that it's only in democracy where the majority has always been telling the lies. The majority has not always stood for the truth, which simply means that democracy is a minority that rules the majority. And that is why we have insisted that in a country like such as Cameroon and in Africa, we need to have seats at the UN National Security Council, because at that level, Mr. Liu, the African continent is being marginalized. And Africans need to understand that we cannot be part of the body of the United Nations and we don't have any representative at that level.
Okay.
So that is where the core problem from the 1960 to 1961, that's where it's all coming from.
Okay. Yes.
From.
Okay, Dr. Ako, John Ako. Definitely we need an end to the killings here. We don't know what may happen tomorrow.
Yeah, the end, if we have to end the killings in the Northwest and the Southwest region, we need to be sincere to ourselves. I mean, Paddy ended very well. That honesty can set us free. There was something Dr. Nick Guanyan said. There is this principle of Otto Canfren, one of the guys who stood for the fact that if it is true, it is true. If it is a lie, it is a lie. And it doesn't matter how many people are against you, and that the truth remains the truth. This is what we need in Cameroon. I have not seen a government where people are promoted because of lies telling than any other government than the government of Cameroon. So when you tell lies, that's when people appoint you. You can head the situation of Patrice Ekema, one of the most controversial mayors we have had in southern Cameroon, and we just pray that a group of such people should stop existing. A lot of them were appointed after that incident. We need to be sincerely talking to Cameroonians what Cameroon is supposed to know.
Okay.
People might have criticized the American election. I'm telling you that the institutions will reign. Can we allow institutions to do their job?
Okay.
Dr. Nick said here, please, just 1 minute. I am just begging. Because the U.S. Senate could not pass a resolution on Cameroon. The British House of Lords passed a decision on Cameroon. The Cameroonian Senate has no resolution for 4 years on Cameroon.
Okay.
It's not normal.
Yes, I'm sure late Kema Patrick Esunge was not appointed. He won an election and was mayor of Boya. And when you see people like him should not exist, I'm sure he was loved by his wife and children and his family and many others who love him. So they will pray that he continues existing. Yes.
Yeah, just
Dr.
to, you know, Paddy Asanga was saying quite some stuff, but when he says that he's not a Christian and then he makes fun of Jesus, I just want to correct that. I don't want people to carry that away. And if we are messing up, it's because in Cameroon, in Africa, and even in America, what America is going through is because they have rejected God. You know, you remember the Tower of Babel. When you reject God, foolishness would enter your house. And therefore, What we need in Cameroon, we need divine wisdom. We have been ruling Cameroon now with human wisdom. What we need is divine wisdom. And when you're talking about divine wisdom, you mean is God-centered. And we know that God is love, God is life, God is truth, God is soul, God is spirit, God is infinite intelligence, and God is principle. If we stick to these things, we'll solve the problem. But if we keep telling lies as we've been doing now, we are going nowhere.
Thank you to you, Desmond, to you, Christian, and to you, Bertrand and Noel, who have produced this edition of the program. And to you, Tambe Bryant, we say thank you to you, and to the wonderful panel. Paddy Asanga, thank you. We hope that next time the connections are going to be better, so that we participate also better. And we tomorrow are going to be looking at the public investment budget for Cameroon, knowing that one division in Cameroon in the south region, Ja Elobo, a division is allocated 68 billion francs CFA. That is a division where we know that the entire littoral region is allocated 63 point something billion. We're going to find out how a division in a country is allocated more budget than almost all the regions in the country. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.